Hello, my loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. I'm Jessica Alexandria for meeting for the first time, and for those of you guys that are old friends and family to me and the YouTube channel, welcome back. As you guys can see, I'm currently in one of my main altar spaces. This altar particular is the one that I do most of my work for the public. I think most of you guys know this. November 11th is the time that the apothecary is going to be reopening. So I hope you guys don't mind. I am going to be putting labels on the money and abundance oils that have been sitting, soaking, absorbing the positive energies from the last eclipses. These are the exact same oils that are going to be available in the shop. Again, that update is going to be November 11th. But we are here to talk to you, or we are here today to talk about the new moon that's happening in the sign of Scorpio. There are a lot of layers to this new moon, and I'm very excited to unpack every single one of them. First and foremost, the new moons tend to be times where we are each individually encouraged to lean a little further into our own divine feminine energy. What I mean by that is this tends to be a more reflective and open-ended question of a time. It usually is not something that is aggressively active like it is with a full moon. And at least for this new moon, it's not an eclipse. So the energy tends to be a little bit more gentler on us when it comes to changes and shifts that we're going to be feeling in our external and internal lives. I want to tell you guys that right away while looking at the chart, I can see that this is a wonderful moon for magic and setting intention, if that's something that you vibe with. It's not really one of those moons where you see significant changes happening around you in the moment. If there are changes that are happening around you or things that are kind of popping off, it tends to be from what has already happened. Chances are from the last eclipses. So you want to go ahead and look at the last 3 months. What has that looked like for you? What has life looked like for you? Now, with this new moon in particular, it is leaning into the energy deep into our fears, how we feel like we can control, and our idea of how we show up, our intention, how it can create positive or negative change and influence around us. This is wonderful if you're someone who has positive intention, like you're trying to impact something or someone around you for the highest and greatest good. You're not trying to use your power or your voice or your heart or your love to control or take advantage of others. So this is one of those times though that this new moon, one of the main things that I'm seeing when I'm looking at the chart is you have to kind of understand where it's going to be important for you to kind of let some energies go, expectations go, especially when it comes to your relationships with others or things that are locking your own energy into more like fear. If you find that you're doing things, if lately you've been moving out of fear, anxiety, angst, tension, stress, this is the new moon for you to take a huge step back and to get real intimate with your connection with your higher self, with the divine, with the powers that be, with the universe. Scorpio energy right away is very, very powerful because it reminds us of how powerful our emotions can be. But sometimes if we don't have that balance, the deeper parts of our emotions, the shadow aspect within ourselves, takes over, takes control, and it's kind of leading the ship. In that way, you end up finding that you're in a lot of tumultuous energies. Like life feels very stormy. Life feels very tumultuous. It doesn't feel like you have peace, or it feels like you're trying to control and manipulate the environment around you to match the vision that you need it to look like so that you can feel safe and feel comfortable. I do want to remind you that the new moons tend to be portals for opening, right? So we can use this to manifest, to work our magic, to set intention. On the flip side though, the new moons, at least the Scorpio new moon, even though this isn't the full moon that is tied to us kind of like releasing and letting things go, we almost kind of have to open up ourselves, our mind, our energy, our intentions to surrendering and letting go of control and for our highest and greatest good so that we can find peace in our progress, find peace in our relationships, and find peace within ourselves. The very next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is something that has been on my heart heavy for months now. Months. Why months? Because in all of this journey personally, right? Let's just have a quiet moment with Jess. In all of this journey this year particularly, I have been working on balance. I think you guys know this because I've been talking about it a lot. And what I give to the world and how I give to myself and how I balance both of those worlds. It has been tremendously exhausting for me to even hold back talking to you guys about Saturn. Saturn's transit, Saturn retrograde, and now Saturn moving direct. That's how I know that this is not something that I want to walk away from, or if I do walk away from it, or if I do walk into it or with it, it's something that I need to learn how to, find more balance. You guys know I tend to overgive, and over time that caught up with me. But when I'm looking at the charts, I want to tell you that this is a thing that has been really bugging me and plaguing me, because a lot of you guys, I'm looking in your comments, I'm reading the emails, I'm looking at your DMs when you guys send them. The overarching feeling that you've been talking about is feeling of exhaustion. This exhaustion is wild because it's not just a physical exhaustion, it's not just an emotional exhaustion. For many of you guys, it's spiritual. The reason why this is because Saturn is transiting through the sign of Pisces. Now, it was in the sign of Aquarius, it was retrograde, but now he is entering back into the sign of Pisces. Pisces, again, is the depths of our emotion. It also allows us to connect with our intuition, our psychic selves, a higher sense of path and purpose. And when Saturn enters into the sign of Pisces, it starts to really challenge our feelings of safety, security. We tend to feel very threatened. We tend to feel very emotionally exhausted. I did put some tweets up about this on my Twitter, or X, I should say. And a lot of you guys are resonating with those messages. Wow, it can really test your faith and your patience. And also, one of the main things that it's trying to teach you is boundaries. Now, what this has to do with the Scorpio new moon is, for the sake of your own depth, for the sake of your own spiritual protection, for the sake of your own peace of mind and mental health and well-being, boundaries are something that absolutely need to be enforced. Those boundaries that Saturn is telling you, the gates that you put around you to protect you while you do what it is that you love, while you explore the depths of yourself or a connection with another person, while you're manifesting, while you're setting intention for the future, whatever that looks like for you, those boundaries are going to protect those very things that it is that you have manifested. I want to tell you too that the vertex point is falling in the sign of Gemini at the time of the new moon. The vertex point is in a beautiful little sextile with Chiron, who is currently retrograde. And I don't know if you guys remember this, or if you're new, let me tell you for the first time, or let me tell you again. Chiron retrograde has been really challenging every single one of us to observe, see, know, sense. What is it that I offer? Who am I really? Who am I? Outside of all this external stuff, the success, the failures, the accomplishments, the achievements, the breakdowns, the breakthroughs, the relationships, all of these things that we do are not us. They do not define us. And Chiron retrograde in the sign of Aries, especially at the time of the new moon, is inspiring you to really see yourself for who you are to your core. I am. How you have identified and how you have shown up for the world, or how you've shown up for your friends, for your community, or not at all, those things are being challenged. What is happening here is you are getting full understanding, because this is not something that has ever been taken away from you. It's something that chances are you've probably explored it. You're getting full understanding on who you are outside of what everyone else is saying or what everyone else expects of you. Who are you? There are going to be some activities, some things, some adventures, some breakthroughs, some action moments that are going to inspire you to see certain levels of yourself outside of how you contribute and how you show up. And that is going to be the part, I believe, as I'm looking at this chart, that this new moon is actually going to encourage you to lean further into exploring, and it will help you so much when it comes to just I don't like, not to be dramatic, but your life here on earth. It'll help you so much in asking that question of why am I here? It will save you so much time. So you're not 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old and only just then getting a real good idea or real clear clarity or clear vision. This is who I am, not this person on the internet, not this person who is a wife, not this person who is a mother. Those are things that you do, but who are you to your core? Who are you to your core? That's what's going to give you ample value. Now back to the new moon. I know I'm kind of bouncing around in the charts, but you guys already know that I don't just look at one transit. I look at the chart as a whole and all of the relationships and how it is influencing us here today. It helps us to understand these energies again, because I say it's like a broken record, so that we can make them work for us and not against us. And I'm Virgo, right? Virgo moon, Virgo Mars, Virgo sun. So I'm very thorough and detailed in my explanation of these things. I want to tell you that you can do with this new moon whatever you wish, right? Of course, that goes without saying. But I want to tell you that one of the greatest gifts and one of the greatest blessings that I feel like you can give to yourself and you can call out to the universe is a sense of who am I? Why am I here? What are the things that I am most proud of? Not just these outside accomplishments, but qualities about myself that have value, things that no one can take away from me. From that space, everything can manifest. From that space, life tends to kind of fall and flow into order. From that space, even if things are great or terrible, there's a sense of peace and recognition and acknowledgement that you can feel of your own self-worth, and you don't need that external validation. Not that you guys are looking for it. Or if you are looking for it, sometimes you don't consciously know that you're looking for it. It might be in the things that you believe about yourself. I need to do this because this proves my worth, this proves my value. Scorpio new moon energy is leaning into that dark pit within the gut, within the soul, within the spirit, that shadow aspect, and says, oh, this is why I've been kind of doing this. This is why my thinking has been, or my emotions have been a little disordered, chaotic, or tumultuous, or I don't have peace, or maybe I do have peace, but I want to add on to that even further with like a sense of fulfillment or even spiritual awakening, because it does go that deep, or in this case, I should say that high. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. There's a whole lot more that I want to talk to you guys about these transits, but for the sake of YouTube and the way that YouTube world works, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet and to the point. In the meantime, I'm sure I'll see most of you guys or some of you guys in the Apothecary November 11th. And if you want to dive a little further in daily readings, Behati Love Notes, or daily every other day, or they're just the exclusive readings that I offer for the public, only to the public. You can sign up for Behati Love Notes. I'm shuffling on with tarot and including astrology transits for that group there. So you guys will stay in the know. Even if I'm not on YouTube for that week or that day or that moment, you'll at least have that on, working on you or working for your behalf. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in my next one. I hope that you are well. I hope that you have peace, and I hope that you're using this new moon for your highest and greatest good, for your benefit. And if not, it is what it is. I'll see you guys in my next one. Talk to you later. Bye.